Okay, everybody, I'm going to start. If the people come on in progress, I'll cut you in on it. Let me try to go and show you guys what we did already. Oh, it's already started a little bit. So, hey, um, okay. So, everybody comes on. I'm putting this on recording so I can send this to you guys. So, as you guys see here in this image, sometimes it gets it right. It's awesome, but they can have a tendency sometimes to not have the padding, or as it's called, the margin. This is padding. So sometimes it can be a little bit off. Unfortunately, kind of is one of the things you still got to be kind of patient with. But we're going to talk a little bit about. Obviously, we have the website, the YouTube channel, vault access, whistleblower. I'll explain whistleblower next week. Over the weekend, I'll be. It's actually pretty much an opportunity for people to turn in, like, if they think that there's a daisy chain or something going on, and we can kind of put in the AI and kind of evaluate it and then come back with a report. It's completely neutral because I just put the name and the website and information and let the AI do the rest. So obviously RCIC, the operation ownership, and which is something I'm starting tonight that basically is going to be done as an overnight mission. Pretty much inspired by Nathan Eccles and his program for veterans housing and his project at Fort Bragg, and he's also going to be extending that to Fort Belvoir. The communities around Fort Belvoir. I'm just naming the bases because sometimes people don't remember the names of the cities like Clarksville and Columbus and stuff. So Clarksville, Tennessee is outside Fort Campbell. Fort Rucker is Huntsville, Alabama. Fort Benning is Columbus, Georgia. So he's doing a lot of that. So I was putting on a thing, operation ownership, trying to help not only like with support like what he's doing, but also for first responders to not just get housing and ownership of housing and ownership of real estate, but also be able to build, to start investing while they're still serving the country or still serving their community as a first responder, firefighter, paramedic, police. Demo drop, we're going to do a show a prompt, tile set PDF. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do a community, we're going to do a few things on here. So real quick, we're going to show a couple of tools. Let's real quick, let's go ahead and do real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do demo, uh, two, drop a, prompt and prompts. We're going to have a drop a prompt tile. So here's a prompt tile number two, find active lenders plus verify the deal. Use these live in chat or screen share. Basic lender coverage prompt. What private or hard money lenders are active in with experience funding, fix and flip, or whatever you put in there. New construction, SFR rentals. You can put whatever in there. So that would be the prompt you would put in there. Gap or second position funding. Who offers gap funding or second position loans in state for residential investors? Lender safety check. Is so and so a legitimate source of funding? What red flags should I check for? Has his property address been listed in multiple wholesale or assignment groups? And then you got deal field filter trigger. Yeah. So, but you feel like, I mean, we know you're, so, so yes, we're gonna have a standalone PDF. We're gonna do a real time screen though, real time. We're gonna do standalone actually because it's a little bit easier. So I'm gonna have to do a standalone tile. I'm gonna show you guys how the tile works. No, well, yeah. So here's a find active lenders plus verify the deal. So here's a basic lender coverage prompts. So keep in mind, we're going to have probably by the end of the month about 2,500 to 3,000 prompts, and they're in batches. And we'll have geographic prompts, so we can actually make prompts specifically for all of you. See, it kind of did leave off a little bit of the margin. Normally, if I was on here without you guys, I would pretty much, if I wasn't recording, I would go and fix this. I'm just trying to show you guys what it does. Standalone. Let's see, pull, um, str from uh, some default. Oh yeah, it's in the vault path. So sometimes it has to rebuild it. So I've got to go back and rebuild it real quick. But I will have it go ahead. Yes, confirmed. Um, in some cases, it's because we're actually moving stuff around with the vault. The vault's done in Dropbox. I'm actually going to be building an Airtable in July, and then it'll become fully automated with Airtable using Dropbox as the backup. So here you go. There it is. The asset class this asset class is ready to go. Screen share specific PDF from inside or drop to next kit. I think we're gonna be good on that. I think we're good on that. Let's explain to the guests, to the associates, why user input sets us apart from everyone else. Why user input sets us apart. Here's the difference between RCIC and everyone else cranking out realistic courses, checklists, and flow-filled programs. They create content once and sell it forever, regardless of whether it's in today's market. We build it to listen and adapt in real time. So it's going to listen to and adapt to you. You're actually, the more users, the better. I think it's a lot better. There's more stuff in it. It basically embeds a lot of the, basically a lot of the information. It gets more accurate in real time. Every tool, every takedown, every trigger prompt, every partner tile. It all evolves based on actual boots on the ground input from your STR at Gatlinburg, which one of our associates is working on, to a daisy chain deal in DFW. Your feedback becomes our firepower. So it can detect daisy chain. In one case, we're doing a test, and I found five, five in the daisy chain. We don't just respond to it, change, we weaponize it. So this isn't a classroom, it's a command center. And our intel, it comes directly from the front lines, meaning you. Yes. And then we're gonna both, and I'm gonna have it both do this because it's very important to just gonna show you guys real quick. And like I said, sometimes the margin's off, sometimes it really makes an outstanding like image, but sometimes on the left or sometimes the padding on the bottom or the top's a little off. And sometimes you can't get the same image. So that you do have to be a little patient once you start using, if you start doing images and stuff like that. But it does, overall, it's pretty impressive when it does come out really, when it comes clean. I'm gonna say probably 75% right now. Um, there are times, every day I'll probably deal with one or two that I have to kind of I might have to deal with one a day. I have to totally discard and move on. And then a couple that I can fix. Sometimes they don't come exactly right, you know. Mm. So there you go. Here's the difference between RCIC, Real Estate Capital Intelligence Community, and everyone else cranking out courses, checklists, and all that stuff. Hey Jesse, I'm doing another thing like yesterday. So I don't think I'll be able to actually, let me see if I can get you on. Let me see real quick. I gotta see if I can get you on the so I can get you on there you go, then you can unmute. We can take this a little
Hello.
for hey, sorry dude, I had to take off the unmute. It's harder when I'm sharing and
Okay.
I'm in the AI because I got like three things going on, dude. So
Nice.
I just made this little thing basically what I did yesterday, but else I try to ask the same question. So I'll be able to save this and post this. It's actually is that thing we talked about yesterday. It does listen and adapt. Um,
Oh, very neat.
yeah. So and sometimes it'll come off like so. This is over here. It's called padding. You know, the side it's like margins. Sometimes you'll
Yeah.
have the padding will be off. Or you'll get down to the bottom and maybe it gets only half of this, and then it's cut off. So sometimes you can get it to fix itself when you go in and tell it that. And there's this thing which you can actually go in and give it like and dislike, and there's reasons if you dislike it. If you like it, it doesn't give you any questions, but if you dislike it, it asks you why. But I usually just tell it. Like this came out really good. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, it's getting fucking awesome. If we get people in there. Like I said, if we could get 10,000 people in here, I could charge like 20, 25 bucks a month for all this. It does everything. Dude, I should send you
Is
later
it?
what I did for a couple of people today. Like I've got something going for Nathan tonight. I had something for him last night. All his military installation opportunities. And it ran up a bunch of stuff for him last night. And it's awesome. It doesn't get everything exactly. You still got to test. Still got to go double check the work. But it literally printed about 40 pages of information this morning when I woke up. It did it overnight. You can have it
Oh,
do stuff overnight for you, and
wow.
you can have it like going to like Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which we did for Michael. Yeah, he's looking at STRs in Gatlinburg outside of what is that, Dollywood? Obviously Tennessee, and he wants to buy cabins and stuff, and it printed up a bunch of stuff for him. Let's see. How can let's see. I'm gonna put in, how can wholesalers and lenders use RCNC to reach and market their services? They get a partner tile. So a tile just looks like what I just made the image, but it could actually be a tile with their logo. It could have their picture, their contact information, a few things. Like here, it talks about logo plus services areas covered, what kind of deals you fund or assign, and then you can do the embedded prep. Which vetted wholesalers have clean deals in Fort Worth this week? So people,
Wow.
yeah,
Dude, that's nice.
yeah, so it's awesome. Weekly feature: get shout outs and sharing Saturday and Monday triage. Started Monday at now in the new group I'm doing, which is that RCIC group. Um, Basically on Facebook, we'll have sharing Saturday where people can actually share their YouTube, their Patreon, and stuff like that, trying to get more engagement because we're going to keep associates still just the associates. Everything else will be built out. Lender Spotlight, clean wholesaler of the week. Highlight current opportunities, post links to intake forms. I've already developed some intake forms and deal sheets that I'm putting into play. It's a little bit on the privatemoneyauthority.com website. And probably in September, I'll change that over because when that comes up, I'll probably get like, I'm kind of searching for a good domain that stands out. And some of them are like a little pricey. So I'm waiting for the next like 90% off that Namecheap offers. And then I'm going to grab a domain for this. And then I just have to go back and redo it. So Monday, hey Jesse, so Monday I'm gonna actually start showing people the prompt assistant, which is that bar over to the left. So that's actually what I built. That's where all this will happen. People will be able to access that with that kit that I made that's on Patreon. I also have it in the Facebook group. So you can type into live prompts to generate leads and screen buyers. Which buyers in Houston are looking for 3-2 rentals, risk 70% ARV cap. What kind of deals does so fun in second position? Submit proof. whistleblower. We have the whistleblower filter. I've put over 120 now into the whistleblower thing. Everything that's on Facebook now, if I can get their website, I put it in there. And I'm coming back and I'm trying to take all the stuff that works because it goes through it. It can actually penetrate through and see stuff that you would have to pay for. It can cut through a paywall a little bit. Wholesalers submit PUDs, real assignments, or video walking deals. Lenders show real closings, testimonials, proof of funds. Have the partner directory to have people come on and be a partner, so we can actually do an embed. We could do like a monthly, or we could do an annual or whatever, where they could to advertise in the partner directory. You got trigger tools like find a vetted gap funder near me. Featured lists inside ITS bootcamp skill labs. So it's reputation driven marketplace where real execution earns visibility. Like I said, dude, I'll have almost 450 hours into this by the end of the month.
Wow.
I'm gonna ask for all three of these, then I'll change some of the questions. I just keep wondering where everybody is. We used to get like 10 or 15 people on these.
Yeah, it's summertime now.
I
They're
know,
probably
but
outside.
it's like fucking shit. Like, man, I've been talking about building this because I kept telling everybody I was gonna have it built and it wasn't gonna be ready till the fall. And then all of a sudden I started screwing around with it, trying to get information to get whoever's gonna build it for me. And I built it myself. I went down a rabbit hole and I've been there since April.
Yeah, no, the AI thing is it's taking it over. This is the second. I was on another Zoom today for this thing called Investor Fuel,
Yeah,
and they just kind of do like funding and whatever, and it was just
yeah,
like a random free like webinar, and like yeah, the guy was just talking about how AI is coming in, and
yeah,
it's like a secret weapon. It's like the new weapon. Yeah.
yeah. But you know what they don't have? They don't have that list of all the 12,000 like funds and all that shit that I do.
No,
But
right.
they don't have like I've been putting that library together for 9 years.
Yeah.
So that's two things. And then some of these they still make it a little bit they still make a little bit static. I'm developing this so it's user input. Here it's coming on making a tile. This is what they call a tile.
Yeah. I need to check this out a little closer.
Yeah, I got to get you the link, and then you can get onto get the free version of Chat GPD. You can get the free version, and then I'll get you the kit, and then you can get your little prompt assistant because it'll help you download that. You hear a little bit; it kind of cut off at the bottom. I'm gonna see if I can that one. Let me see if that one. So it should actually make another one for me. So it comes back, better spacing below each number section, clean professional bottom tagline, remove overlapping text. And it
Hmm.
started to fix it. OpenAI and Grok, which is XAI for Musk, they all acknowledge some of the issues that they're still having, but they're fixing it. So we'll see if this goes. Sometimes they do really good jobs. Sometimes it tries to do a good job but doesn't quite get it. I think maybe once a day I actually have to give up on trying to get an image, and I just as long as I get the text right, because I got something back too, Jesse. I don't know you noticed. I got something from Facebook because I have that professional dashboard. It says that I get 20% more visibility from text rather than images. So it gives you like a weekly report on the views because it tracks all that stuff. So I put that into ChatGPT and it's helping me create some more. I basically put the results into it and it's helping me tailor a lot because like I'm telling you, this could be huge. And then we get the money, if we can generate that kind of subscription base, then we can put some money from that into other things that support it and then back into getting PMA. Although I just got to make sure I've got, I got to get Richard and Ari to agree. Because Richard and Ari want to go different. They're both like different people. Richard wants all investors like partners, and Ari's obviously big into lenders.
Hmm.
That's the problem that the Wolves have. Yeah, there you go. So I'll post this later. See, it came out and fixed it. It just changed the color, really, and kind of sometimes it'll, it looks like it goes from like this, that's cut off, and then it makes it a little bit. Then you get the little box at the bottom.
Mm.
I'm always waiting for just to tell me to go left myself because I asked too many,
Ha
there's
ha.
too many fixes. Like when it,
Wow. Imagine that.
yeah, okay.
It's like, go take a nap. Go take a nap, sir.
Who can? What exactly? I know what you're looking for funding. What exactly do you need? Let's try to put that in there and see if it
Oh,
comes up more
so
specific.
what I'm needing, I don't, Nate, I don't even know what I need, dude. I need a bunch of money. I need it from wherever it's gonna come from. I've been searching high and low. I can't get past the low credit score. I don't have any
And
liquidity. I'm working
uh,
fucking 90 hours a week. You know, people are like, oh, if you find the right deal will bring the money. Okay, so you find the right deal, and then you bring it to these people, and they fucking don't have any time for you. You know what I mean? It's a big fantasy. It's just like I've been doing this for years, trying to like pull off some sort of a miracle.
what do you think your credit score is? Like under five,
It's
under
a 6 6. It's 620.
okay.
Um, yeah, my FICO 2 is a mortgage. That's the mortgage one. That's a 610. Uh, but
There's
things
just
are getting better.
yeah. Let's see.
Thing, but I gotta get to like the 700. Uh,
There's the prompt ready intelligence, so it gives you what that.
oh, how about this? I really don't want to sell anything, right? Because I don't really have a lot of properties, but I was like, so what's my smartest move? Do I HELOC the duplex and
Yeah.
try to
Let me
get
let me put this one in
try
there
to
real
get
quick, and then I'll
10
come back.
units, or do I do a 1031 exchange? You're like, what's the hell HELOC versus the 1031 exchange? Which one is gonna make me richer faster? If I need to let go of something little
Yeah.
to get something big, the duplex I've had it so long, it's at a low rate, and it cash flows well per door because I've had it almost a decade. So the things.
Yeah. Let me see. You've heard of these companies?
First Capital Trust deeds accepts minimum
Do you want,
620.
I'll have it save it. Can you? I'll say, can you? These. Nathan's coming on. Let's go let him on real quick. These lenders in a PDF. And Word. I'll try to save it. Let me go get him unmuted. Hey Nathan, I'm
Sure.
trying to get unmuted. So Jesse and I are here you go. Okay, there you go. Trying to
Oh, so
trying to narrow down and help Jesse find some funding for his. Hey, Nathan, did you see that? What I sent you?
Yeah, I saw the email.
Okay, it's actually working on something for you overnight tonight too. So I'll send you what I'm working on now in the
Oh,
morning. So yeah, I kind of made some adjustments because I found a couple things today that helped me dial into it a little bit more. Every day I'm kind of learning how to do it. I'm getting the prompts are down. So you got Jesse, I'll send these to you after we're done. Those are those lenders that
okay.
just showed you, so who knows? And I can have it save all this for you. I don't know if you
Okay.
want to cross collateralize. I know Ari's talked to you about that.
Cross collateralization. Yeah, I heard about that. And then that's like putting them all under one blanket loan.
Yeah, I know that's not ideal, but no, I mean I'll come up with other scenarios for it.
Yeah.
So yes, Nathan. So Jesse has a couple of apartments, and what do you have? Like you have two buildings, right? Don't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got a duplex and a triplex, and I'm just been kind of stuck.
Yeah,
I can't figure it out.
Yeah. So trying to cross collateralize probably isn't the greatest. I mean, it could be a last resort, but I know Ari's talked a lot about that. I'm trying to think about,
Yeah,
how much equity do you think you have in each of them? And you live in
at
one of them,
least,
don't you?
yeah, I live in the 3 family. I've got 150 in each of them, maybe more.
That's what you should do. You should come up with the prompts for you. And when you get your AI account, your open AI, I'll get you the link and then you can use this prompt assistant and you probably could, ask it a lot of
Play around in
prompts.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, let's I'm gonna real quick before I go back to real quick, generate prompts for multifamily acquisition in Massachusetts. And you're around what part of Connecticut? Where are you closest to? I know you,
Enfield.
what is
Yeah,
it?
and Enfield. It's like north of Hartford. Hartford's the big city there.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put Hartford because
Yeah.
it'll probably find it. Uh, mm, using different scenarios and strategy. So it'll give you some different prompts. So DSCR and all that. That's pretty cool. So it actually gives you prompts. There's going to be almost 3,000 prompts in here by July. So then it'll break it down, and people will actually in the prompt assistant, you'll be able to actually go and say, hey, can I have prompts in Texas or Dallas or something? And then you can start putting in zip codes. You can put in a lot of stuff like that. Are there seller finance deals available for 5 to 15 unit properties in Worcester? I'm surprised I actually spelled that right. I pronounced
Uh,
that right.
uh, yeah, it is a tricky one. Worcester.
Well, I know Dennis because I'm a big fan of Dennis Leary, and
Yeah.
his cousin was a firefighter there, and he died in a fire, that warehouse fire back,
Wow.
the one before 9/11. He's like six
Wow.
guys. And that's why he's huge with this firefighter foundation, and so he talks about that all the time. I know the new, Donnie Wahlberg and those guys, Mark Wahlberg, are from there, are from that area. How can I structure a multifamily syndication deal? Yeah, so what I'll do is after this, I can see, here you go. Here's for Hartford. So you can get all these different scenarios. I'm gonna give you yep, I'm gonna do the PDF. So I'll save that as well. I'll send it to you so you got prompts for the future when you get your account. We'll do the visual tile and basically put in the vault folder. So it'll be put in the vault. And like I said, right now I'm using Dropbox. In July, I'm going to build Airtable. Airtable's all AI. Matter of fact, I'll ask you about Airtable in a second. Airtable is actually simple, and anybody can use it. You could use it to Nathan on your deals because it's awesome. It's really you can watch a YouTube video in 30 minutes. I don't know if you've used it at all, but I mean, I'm recommending everybody because I mean the cool thing is when people start using the prompt assistant, they have Airtable, it can literally, just at that point, I'll just use Dropbox as the backup.
Yeah.
So, Josie, I'll save that for you. I'll send that to you when
Okay.
we're done. Got a couple of PDFs. That way you get your prompts for Massachusetts and Connecticut. And I'm trying to make them for everybody. So I know a lot of people are like in Houston. We got a lot of people in Houston. Matter of fact, MJ's got her little local meetup tonight. And if you guys want as well, I'll give you guys for the tier one, which is just the $9 tier. I'll give you guys like 25 passes for like a month or something if people want to go and go look at it. I put some cool stuff in there, even as just entry level stuff, some asset class books and little booklets I wrote that are like 20 to 50 pages and stuff. And then if anybody upgrades, I'll split it with you. I'll do that with everybody. Somebody joins, lifetime at $3.99, I'll give you $185. So here you go. Here's the tile. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't try to. Oh, it is trying to put it on. But see, it cuts off. Let me see if it can you separate? Let's see if it can make. Uh, There is no adding issues. Like I said, I am surprised. Sometimes I've had it fix stuff so many times that I'm like surprised it doesn't start smoking.
Hmm.
Dude, they're putting like $100 billion into their AI centers. They're putting a lot of them in, like to power these
Yeah.
up. And then I saw Zuckerberg was offering like 7 and 8 figure bonuses for people to come and help him build his AI. Because
Wow.
Elon's got his, Sam Altman's the chairman of this company. Elon invested in it, but he got pissed at Sam Altman because they were going to do it at first as a nonprofit. And then when Elon went to buy X, then Sam Altman and his people decided they wanted to make it for profit. Probably after they saw there you go. It just made, hopefully it doesn't make like 100 of these. One time it did that, I asked it to go separate it, and it made me like 10 instead of like separating it into two with 5 each. So I was sitting there for like 20 minutes waiting for it to finish. Like, come on, dude, I didn't really want that. But yeah, sometimes it's cool. Here it goes. It's gonna give you all these it's gonna give you all these tiles. So yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. So sometimes, like I said, you got to be a little bit patient. Oh yeah, it's gonna give you some, and then it's gonna give you the prompts. So it kind of sometimes you have to be. It has a mind of its own, but dude, it's like a huge rabbit hole that you can go down and you can just all kinds of stuff. People could do visual. The one that I did after yours, Nathan, was for another person in the group, and I looked at Gatlinburg, Tennessee, for them for STRs for cabins and stuff, and it came up with actually like 30, 40 properties there. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
it is actually able to find some properties. I know on yours it did. It had some, like, it didn't have the exact, but I don't know, you could probably dial in if you know the area.
Yeah.
Because I know it said a couple of them right outside of Fayetteville, like right around the road where you're building at. There's another couple of them. Okay, so I'll upload
Yeah.
these in there. I'll just say these in there. Okay. Uh, who is available? You coordinate. Involving Morby. Because I don't like the Morby. I'm not a huge fan of that, but there you go, shareholder. So that's what embedding means when I was posting about embedding. So Jay is actually, so he's embedded. So a lot of his information. There are some TCs and stuff. And then obviously some escrow and creative specialists that gets into that. So who can coordinate a subject to plus seller finance deal with EMD support and title coordination. And so I'm gonna do yes, yes, and yes. So I've got like that list, Nathan, just before you got on that list of lenders that I have
Yeah.
like 2,000. Dude, that generated like it popped up like 5 for Josie in Massachusetts, like instantly, and some of these are so that list is pretty thorough. So matter of fact, as soon as we're done with this one, let me put in who can fund on ground up new construction for duplexes. You could, you could
Yeah.
put in.
You gotta make sure that they're modular friendly.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
not
that's
just
pretty.
modular, but like the modular non-phased draw lender.
Okay, you have to guide me through that language, and I'll see if it'll create a prompt. Because as you put
Otherwise,
stuff in there, then it's going to create its own prompt.
yeah.
So once we get done with that, we'll massage that one. I think it's going to be awesome. Like I said, the more users we get, the better. The more stuff that goes in, it's better. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, this prompt assistant, which I'll start showing people next week. I got one more tweak to do to it this weekend. I got to change it out with the Bitly and China URL for access, and then so because I got more Bitly actually wants to let you do like 3 before they charge you, and tinier and so I got to change it out, and then you guys can all access this all.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. Okay, let's let me see if it's gonna finish real quick. No, let's ask this question. All right, so what are we actually looking for? Who can lend on ground up? They're modular.
Yeah. But it has, yeah, modular. I hope it knows what it means by that.
Why don't let's? I mean, we're just yeah. I mean, if it doesn't, we can tweak it. Construction. Are they constructed on site? Or are they constructed in the factory?
They're they're built in a factory. They're assembled on site, but the lender has to be able to pay upfront or sign on as or buy it themselves and own the title in transit.
Okay, those two. Um,
Because if they don't, then they cry about inspections and blah blah
well, it's
blah.
supposed to let's do own the title. Is that what's it called? Own the title?
Yeah, either own the title or reimburse the manufacturer up front. This may just see what happens. It starts smoking. Hey, yeah. There's a couple of times on one Sunday I was like, really, because it was slow. Yeah, so it gives me some information. It doesn't give me a whole lot, but wait, why they fit your creative? Okay, let me yeah, because you don't want to run these. Um, I'm gonna have it packaged in a PDF for you, and then I can send that to you when we're done, just like Jesse's. And then we'll just. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll put all this stuff. Yes, yes, and everything, and then I'll send you everything that it has if it saves it. I think we just have to put some prompts in there for you and maybe generate 8 to 10 of them, and then you got access to that when you have your when you get your Chat GPT or whatever. This is awesome though. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I was able to do today that every day I'm basically finding new stuff we can do. There's sometimes it like won't let you like put the question in the next question or answer until it's done with the visual or whatever. So yeah, I'll send it to you as soon as we're done, and then I got a couple to send to Josie, and then it's pretty cool. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's just going to give people a lot of tools. There's a lot of stuff I've built in the vault. I'll ask about Airtable, and then I'll show you guys something cool that you actually get a good laugh at. But it's kind of cool. Because I find the more stuff that you actually have it do that you put in the vault, the easier it is for it to recall it when you ask for it again. Yeah. So here's your lenders and all that. You may not need this. I mean, it'll print it with the PDF, but like I said, we want to make sure that they're all. So we may have to just tighten up the prompts. You know, put like like I said, 8 to 10 prompts that deal with what you're looking at, and then you may have to then have another set of prompts for, you know, Clarksville and Huntsville and all that. I was trying to think about that this morning when I was trying to do this for you. I was like thinking about how many bases have bills in Huntsville, Clarksville. Hmm,
Yeah.
hmm. Yeah, this one cut off a little bit, but you have the PDFs. So don't worry about the. Okay, let me try to get it. Sometimes it's a little bit. I got a stupid Airtable. Okay. Oh, users. I'll just put users. Can maximize their using Airtable. There's like a command set or deal zone. So I mean, most people aren't going to need the paid version right away. So it's pretty cool. So you can put their deal line pipeline tracker. The best part is you can actually get the code like for my Airtable. You can actually put stuff back and forth, so you can do stuff in this prompt assistant over here, and then you can actually save it here, but you can also save it in the bigger one, which helps people find you and stuff to partner with you. Check every deal from lead to underwriting, funding to close. It's pretty cool. You can do all the statuses, reminders, tags. Pretty sweet. It gives you a lot of good stuff. It's automation ready. You can do automation pretty easy. You can build an SOP and trigger map library. And you can use Zapier for automation and all the forms and embeds and all that. You don't have to keep a library like I do anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a PDF. Oh, and embed. I'll just do the PDF. Visual, and then I'll do that. I'll do one thing, more thing, and then I'll take off the AI, and we can talk more, and then finish up.
I'm just scrolling through the latest Danville to see if anything pops out I don't recognize.
Cool. Hey, so what kind of aircraft do they have at Pope? Because I know some Air Force bases have like specific aircraft. Do they have like?
I mean, it's an army airfield now. I
So
mean,
it's
I know
just
they,
so
but
it's just rotary. Yeah.
I mean, they have rotary, but they have stuff fly in and out for fixed wing for jumps, you know, but it just depends.
Because right now, like everybody's watching Whiteman Air Force Base
Yeah.
because the B-2s are there. They changed
Yeah.
they changed the Air Force Base by Fort Carson to a Space Force. Did you hear that Space Force is getting its own special operations?
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, what the hell are those guys gonna do? Oh man.
yeah, I mean, someone's gonna make a mistake in the next 6 months somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean that bunker buster bomb's pretty 30,000 pounds. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd want to get that through my roof. Dude, it's supposed to blow up like in 3 different stages that it penetrates. I was watching a thing on some retired general was talking about it.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, why do they talk about it? I'm like, because they want to deter people from ever having to face it.
Yeah, no matter how deep you go, it'll still destroy the earth to get to.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that. I'm gonna show you guys one thing. It's kind of interesting with pictures in it. So like I said, sometimes it's better at creating a live picture. I mean, a better picture or something. There's that guy I built, that Jack guy that I built, which is kind of my gecko guy. So let me see if I can get one of my pictures. Uh, let me see if I can pick up my Cookie Monster. I keep a lot of stupid shit sometimes. All right, here's my old. Watch this. See what happens. Create a headshot. Let's see what it does with this. This one. Here's a funny thing. I was doing stand-up comedy. This picture was taken in 2007. I still use it sometimes. I was doing stand-up comedy at a comedy club in Denver. There's like a contest. It was like 6 months. It was like a long contest. If you won the contest at the end, you got to put in the regular like rotation. I did pretty good up to a point. I think I made it about halfway through it. There was a guy that went on last comic standing that was in that competition that year.
Yeah.
You know what sucked though? I had a really like I was kind of borderline like equal opportunity offensive, kind of like Dennis Leary and those guys. And my mom showed up with a really religious friend, and I had to like cut half my material out like at the last minute. And my mom was like, "You gotta do that." It's like, let's see what it comes up with. Dude, the other day it was like one time I did it, it was like horrible. Oh, this is just for laughs. I just want to see what it actually makes me look like. It did a pretty good job at the one that I have in my profile now. So it might actually do pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I thought maybe you just used AI to do just like a picture conversion, but I didn't know it made the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to make a couple of them. Like this one looks like, oh yeah, we'll have it in the one session, all that. Yeah, this one actually turned out pretty good. There was one where it looked like it put me like 30 pounds. Hey, look, I have my teeth, the tooth that's missing. Then I have to get my implant on. Fuck, I need to use this now. Yeah, I went and got that shot done at the Sears Portrait Studio because I had to get a headshot for the comedy contest. They're like, hey, you need a headshot. Cool. I'm gonna do my tile real quick while I'm doing it. So you guys got any other questions or anything you want me to put it in test, or I'm gonna make my tile and then
I don't.
no, I think it's pretty good. I think
Okay.
so. Next week I'm gonna start showing everybody how to do the prompt assistant, and then get you guys your own, so you guys can start testing it out if you got open. Now, they're also real quick before we go. I'm gonna ask it real quick about the prompt suggestion bar using the Google form and stuff. There's a Google form, and so they're both like manual. Right now, they'll go to me. So, and eventually, I'll have like prompt moderators, people that can actually, and they'll put in prompts, and we can put in the stuff and do it for them. But it's eventually it'll go to Airtable. It'll be pretty much automated, but the Airtable will just track it. So people put in suggestions. Hey, I need Sheboygan, Wisconsin, or I need some prompts for this. Or what it needs prompts for, then it can go in there and then I can adjust the prompts. The prompt moderators also would be able to add them. There'll be people that obviously, you know, it's going to make me look a little different in this one. Hmm. Hey, I was like, hey, it's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe definitely look a little bit different. I don't know. It's kind of cool. All right, so let me put it real quick. Okay, before as we wrap up, let me see. Explain the um, and the Go fuck that up. So this is the prompt suggestion bar. And like I said, it's manual. It just uses the Google form. So I have two forms and I'm going to put them out there, and they're on the Patreon. I'll put them in those other groups that I have, Facebook groups for people. But people can go in here and they can have a suggestion. They go make a lender prompt for modular duplexes in hurricane zones. There you go. Here in Carolina hurricane zone. Add a red flag checklist for wholesalers in Atlanta. Submit a via, what do you need a prompt for? What issue or scenario triggered this idea? It asks them that. Email or group name and follow-up needed. Send everything it asks, if they need follow-up. It doesn't save emails, but it does ask them if they want to follow up, then it will actually open a box they can put their email in. That way I can follow up with them. You get real-time input from the field, and so this is awesome. And then prompt request bar is like our tool directly, especially for specific types of deals. It's build my weapon form. It's deal type, state or city, challenger facing, add lender, seller not cooperating. It'll actually come up and say, hey, let me real quick. I'll post one more thing before we're done, but it's kind of cool. And tiles. Then explain our negotiation playbook and influencers. So I created this thing called a negotiation playbook, and we got probably a ton of people that I've put in there. I've entered Chris Voss and Gary Nesner, the two FBI guys, Steve Witkoff, who's like a special envoy to the president, Rick Cannell, ambassador and special envoy, Chris Miller, who you remember was acting Secretary of Defense. It was pretty good. So I got some guys that are, some real estate guys like Eric Trump and a few other people who are pretty good as negotiators, but it's pretty cool. So I entered them and it came up with all their different scenarios because obviously, Chris Voss and Gary Nesner are legendary FBI negotiators, and it gives them a lot of, and it uses neuro-linguistic programming. So I was able to create a ton of, so people could actually get their scripts and stuff. So you could have your laptop open and you can ask for different scenarios on negotiation and feedback for like, I don't know, objections. And while you're talking or using your other, your phone or whatever. So it's kind of cool that way. That you can actually do a lot of stuff in live and have it, hey, this scenario. So that a prompt could come up with a scenario for negotiation or something. And it could give you the the live feedback. It could give you like 100 different objections, suggestions. So that's a kind of a cool thing. So there's the two bars. Obviously, like I said, they're both Google Docs. And like they just go to my Google form that I get for right now. Eventually they'll go to Airtable. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that one because I'm gonna put that out there later. Okay, now I'm gonna finish up after this one. So we got the negotiation playbook and I'm adding to it all the time. So, it's just basically all the closing scenarios. Framing and anchoring. It's got like a tactical silence. So that's like Chris Voss had framing and anchoring. And then Oren Klaff, who's pitch anything. And then you get into tactical silence information control. Again, Chris Voss, Sandler Sales. So basically I put a lot of these different people in there, and it came up with some other ones like Zig Ziglar and all that. Put some other people in there so it could come up with how they would do it. Like here you go, Ron LeGrand is pretty good. Commercial syndicators, confidence through data. It's pretty cool. So I've actually built a whole like system, and there's a lot of prompts in there already. So you guys see some of the people that I have in there, and like I said, some other individuals. So it gets into some cool stuff. Yes, and I'm gonna go ahead and do yes, and then as soon as it's done, it's this. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the AI. So I'm trying to show you guys because you guys know 2 nights in a row. I'm trying to show you guys a few more things. But next week I'm gonna go heavy on getting everybody introduced to the prop assistant, and by when we start July, I want people to start using it because it'll actually help a lot. It'll help yourself, but it'll also help build the system out and by helping yourself. So that by that time we can give you, maybe I can give you probably a couple hundred prompts
Because we can even tailor them for different areas if you're going to go to Billboard and Campbell and all that. You know, that way you can start looking for a lot more. That thing I printed last night for you, it could go a lot deeper. So I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, man, I'm gonna have almost 450 hours on it by the end of the month. I was just gonna probably spend like maybe a week or two trying to just gather stuff to put in because I put ads out on Fiverr and stuff for somebody to build it. I got some good responses back, but then I also started to read about like if you have somebody build something that really takes off, sometimes you can have people come back on you like, I need a piece of that. So here, OpenAI basically said if you build anything, you own it 100%, which is rare, which is good because I think the other XAI is also the same way. There's a company out there that's on YouTube and they were music, so people could do AI music. A lot of people were getting monetized, and that company went back and started claiming copyrights. They own part of the copyrights.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got the domain name and I've got I put in through Legal Shield, I had to pay $350. I was getting quotes at like 1,500 plus the fee for the government for the trademark. So I filed it for $350 flat. I just had to pay the fee to the government. The Legal Shield's lawyer took care of my trademark, and Legal Shield paid him. It's pretty cool. This will be a little slow. I generated a couple of 25, 30-page white papers. One night I had 10 of them, and it literally was the next morning it was still working on them. But you can tell it, like I said, you can tell it to work overnight or work in the background. You know, it'll do it. It's pretty cool. Sometimes you got to check back and with it, but it'll actually work. Everything everything that it's not doing right now very well, it's going to get better at because they've said that they said they're working on everything. You know, it's they've got different, they're different models up here where it says Chat GPT 40. They got like there's like 7 different uh models. There's the free and there's a couple of them. There's one that's really good for research. Like if you're doing deep research, you get down here in tools. You can do deep research. You can dictate if you got a microphone. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. A little slow right now. I don't know why it's going. Seems to be analyzing. Oh, it's making the time. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. I've got the unlimited plan at $20 a month. So the next one's like 200. And then the best thing, like I said, I think I said this yesterday, is the best thing you can build your own GPT as well. But Sora, I'm not gonna click on it because it's like Sora is awesome though. I did look at what it's because you have to be in the beta group right now to be in it. And but eventually you'll be able to do like right now I think the people are able to do like 30 seconds of 4K video right from the AI. And eventually people will be able to do like 3 minutes or 5 minutes like quick videos and stuff using 4K. So it's gonna be pretty impressive when you can actually go make a video that's in 4K. It'd be cool, for a real, if somebody put a listing together and be able to do a listing with 4K video.
Yeah.
This might take a minute. I'm gonna just put in continue in background. Okay. I'm just gonna tell it. It may not. It's extra button. Let me put that in there. Sometimes it does that when it's working. It won't. Let you. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy with it. So I think it's going to be awesome. We get like I said, I was telling Josie before you came on, if we get a lot of subscribers, I could keep this like $10 or $20 a month. Ideally, I'd like to make it like 19.95 or something, and have some subscribers. A lot of them. And the more that we get, then I can keep it around that range, and then it'll help. And then we can, yeah, because this will be huge, and people can get it. We can start putting a lot of information in there. And that'll help a lot of people. And then, you guys will be in there, you get embedded just like Jay is. You get embedded and people start looking for people to do deals with. And then, people will pop up, their tile will pop up, and it's pretty cool. All right, there you go. The visual's gonna, you had to think about that. Like I said, sometimes I'm surprised it doesn't start smoking. I ask it so much stuff. Like I said, I'll have 450 hours in it by the end of the month. It's a lot of stuff. Um, it's gonna take a minute to do this visual file. Oh yeah. But no, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So like I said, over the weekend, I'll make sure everybody has access to getting the prompt assistant. And that's pretty cool. And then once people start using it on their own, it'll even get, because that's if they use the prompt assistant, obviously it's putting all the feedback and everything into the what I've built.
Yeah.
So if you get your own, like you just do it GPT without it, it's not gonna affect, the and I'm calling this the capital intelligence community, now real estate capital intelligence community, because there's a lot of good stuff in it. So this kind of gets into different, like I said, different negotiations. And I put it like almost a 75-page guide together. That's an ebook. It's actually in the vault. So you'll be able to access the vault from the prompt assistant as well. And it'll go to my Dropbox. It's actually, and then it can pull stuff that's in there. But here it goes in a few of the influencers. There's some other influencers, like I said, Chris Miller, Steve Witkoff, Eric Trump. I put some prominent real estate people, Grant Cardone. So it basically went and researched them, and then it basically built some of their what they do. Okay, yes, yes, and yes, yes, and yes, and then zip and close. And close you in the morning for TGIF. And I'm gonna ask her real quick. Can you generate a cheat? Last week I did a TGIF one. And theme. So when I do my fly from the car in the morning, it'll actually have an image I can put with it. So it's interesting too, Nathan. I was able to Facebook gave me that professional dashboard, like all my stats of like who sees what and which of my posts get a lot of traction. Well, it told me I get 20% more views, and people stay longer with my text posts. So I put all that into here, and it actually helped me tailor some stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that way. You can do that with using AI and using the Facebook stats. Like I'm never trying to get, I'm never gonna try to get monetized on YouTube and all that because it's just too much stupid,
It's
It's
a lot of
just,
work.
well, no, it's not that. It's you have to get like 1,000 hours and so many users and all that. The problem is, I think it's just, I pretty much use YouTube because it's free to just to make my stuff there. So
Yeah.
yeah, you'll see this in the morning. It's pretty
Mm.
cool. Thank God it's Friday. Somebody did say you should be using God when a lot of people are like opposed. I don't really care. I'm also like talking to people. Yeah, fix it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Something's up with my microphone. You guys able to hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah, something just came up. Just had to fix it with my microphone. So I'm almost done anyway. So I just basically cut off the recording and all that. So I'm gonna take the recording off now.